Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here with T-Game and Tech, and today I'm going to be going over The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, my first impressions. And let me just start off by saying I love The Legend of Zelda. Ocarina of Time was my first game, and Skyward Sword so far it's getting up there. I don't know if it's going to take Ocarina of Time's spot as my #1 game, but I think it's definitely going to be a close second. But let's just get right into the game and let's get started with my first impressions. So as we get started with the game, you select your file, name your file, all that normal stuff, and you go through a couple cutscenes. You know, you see who you are, you see a little bit of background of Skyloft, that's where you're at, and eventually you just get into cutscene after cutscene. You do a little following around of people. You're going to look for people you don't even know where to look for. You go find Zelda. She's actually your childhood friend in this game. You go talk to her dad, and you just look cutscene after cutscene. The game actually does really start out really slow. I spent a half an hour just being like, when's the game going to start? Because I was tired of walking around looking for people. I didn't know who they were. But once I actually got a sword, you had to free your bird because a couple guys steal your bird or something crazy like that. And you have to go free your bird from this confinement they have them in. You need a sword to go through this cave. So once you get a sword and you actually get a feel for swinging the sword, that's when the game really starts to take hold. One thing though, when you first start swinging the sword, it's kind of awkward because if you're holding the remote like this, and Link's sitting here like this in the game, he's walking around like this, it's kind of weird. But I realized as soon as I get done swinging and doing whatever I need to do, I hit the stamina button and Link puts the sword away and he just starts running. I think that remedies that really well. That way you're not just running throughout the game with Link going like this or doing anything weird. But I think the stamina button really kind of alleviates from that, and I really actually like the stamina idea. I like the idea that Link does not have an endless amount of energy, and he's like a normal other person, and he gets tired. And when your stamina does run out, you do have to slow down. You can't swing your sword or anything, but your stamina does build back up within a couple seconds, and you keep doing your normal Link kind of things. Another thing you're exposed earlier to in the game is bird flying, and that was kind of weird at the beginning because you have to balance the Wii remote in your hands to fly, and it was kind of awkward, and you're trying to like, no, what do I really do? How do I flap the wings of the bird? It's kind of awkward, but eventually you do get the hang of it, and you use it a lot during the game. I'm only a little ways through, and I already used it a lot, but it actually has gotten easier the more you do it. It's just one of those things, and I think it's a neat element. It kind of reminds me of Wind Waker, you know, traveling around from island to island on a boat, but flying around to island in the sky, a little bit different. I like it a little bit more than just going on a boat and having to change directions of the wind all the time. I do like the flying idea a lot better. So once you get in the actual dungeons of the game really starts to open up. You're on these huge overworlds that are kind of really underworlds, and Skyloft is the overworld. I don't know. You get down into the surface, that's what they call the land below Skyloft. You really get into the gameplay. You get into fighting enemies. Before that, you pick up a shield, you pick up a satchel, you can carry stuff with you, and that's where the game really starts to open up. It really starts to come together. And once I got through the first dungeon and a little bit afterwards, I realized that this game's going to be awesome. Everything works very smoothly. Fighting enemies is actually a challenge now. It's not just button mashing. I'm guilty of just mashing buttons whenever I'm playing a Zelda game, sword button as many times as I can. But this game, the enemies actually think, and they learn your attack styles, and they will block your attack styles you use most. That way you have to deliberately think about how to attack them again. So if you are a person who constantly is whacking at this enemy from the right side, and eventually he's going to learn that he's going to block that, and you're not going to be able to do that. So you have to go from the left side or the top or the bottom. The AI in this game is really good. It's really actually a challenge. I've died a lot of times in this game already, and I consider myself an advanced gamer, but I've already died a lot of times. Sometimes it's my own stupid fault. It does take getting used to enemies actually having intelligence. It does get very frustrating sometimes when you're just trying to beat on an enemy and he just won't die. But eventually you do end up figuring out the weaknesses, and they do die. I don't want to spoil too much of the game right now, but I will say that there are a lot of elements in this game that I really like. There are some instrument playing later on in the game. That's really not that extensive, but there's a lot of items that you get early on that I really enjoy. I don't want to go into any depth or detail for people who haven't gotten the game yet, but I'm sure you've seen trailers. Of course, there's the bombs, there's a slingshot. There's actually this new item that everybody has to seize by now. It's the beetle, and I really like that idea. You get to control this beetle, and you shoot him off, and he can go explore areas where you can't really see, or hit switches, or grab stuff and drop stuff. I think it's a really great addition, and you see yourself using the items a lot more. You don't just use them in one dungeon and then forget about them. Twilight Princess fell victim to that in the Temple of Time. Whenever you had that little wand that shot light and stuff, use that for like one dungeon, and it was at the end of the game, and you never got any more use out of it. In this game so far, I have not encountered that problem. I've used every item over and over again, both inside dungeons and outside. So I think the items really going to come together, and I do like the whole upgrading system where you can upgrade stuff. It's a little taxing, a little troubling trying to collect these treasures you use to upgrade stuff at first, but stuff starts rolling in, you can kill more enemies and get more treasures, and the whole upgrading idea really works well in this game, and I'm really enjoying it. So basically, those are my first impressions of this game, and I am really enjoying this game. I put a bunch of hours into it, and I plan to put a bunch more in the rest of the Thanksgiving break. And if you're owning a Wii and you're thinking, I need another game, I really know what game I want, go out and pick Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, put it on your Christmas list, go out and buy it now, and do whatever you need to do to get this game. I think it's one of the best games ever on the Wii. It's one of the best games ever in a long time, but I really highly suggest this game. I'm enjoying it a lot. I will be coming later with a full review of this game after I complete it and get through all kinds of side quests and beat the game and whatnot. But until then, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you go out and pick Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. If you didn't check out my unboxing, you can check it out here. But other than that, thank you guys for watching my videos, and stay tuned for next time.